What's going on, guys? I'm doing this video because I just want to also let you know, guys, I know conversions drops today. That means I didn't get to beat my Mage Seeker stuff. So what I want to do, for the very few of you people that actually watch this, I'm going to try my best to do a lot of progression through Mage Seeker and then go and just straight upload conversions. This will be a Riot channel, damn it, as Bob is my witness. And I also want to upload some more League of Legends stuff. So is there League of Legends characters or something like that you guys want to see me do? I do want to make this more of a, you know, it is always been a Riot focused channel, but the main stuff is obviously going to be the Runeterra card game because it's what I like the most out of all of them. But I actually play League of Legends literally like every day. But in Runeterra, there is a new patch, and I wanted to kind of talk about this because this should be, I'm assuming, more standard. I'm assuming they're doing more stuff like things in standard, I'm assuming. And I also, obviously, Eternal's going to be literally in 2 days. So I'm assuming they're going to talk about that as well. I'm not going to be reading all of this because... maybe I should. Welcome to the first month in Eternal rank. For many of you, it's been a few months since you put down your rotated cards. Now it's time for you to pull them out from their safe spots in your collection and put them back on the board for not only a ranked season, but 2 Runeterra opens. I really haven't been able, like, just a timing phrase for this. Like, they do it on days that I usually have to work, so that's why a lot of times I want to do videos for that, but I'm not home. I'm just not home. As part of our first Eternal Focus balance patch, so this balance patch will be focused on Eternal cards, we wanted to set the bar for what power level we expect the format to be. So you'll see reverts to some old favorites that had left their time in the spotlight. These changes are just the first steps into making Eternal the format we have in mind. Now, a place for our cards to be powerful as they can, and for deck builders to have the world at their fingertips. I wonder, will they be a little bit more lenient? Because if something is broken in one of the other formats, you can always just say play the other format, right? So if Standard's busted, you can say go play Eternal. If Eternal's busted, you say go play Standard. What if both are busted? I don't know what happens when they're both undealable. The Eternal format still has a lot of room to be controlled by all of you, so if there's something you love and want to see more of, then let us know by playing it and talking about it on social media. If you feel like the format is missing something that would really make it feel special to you, then please talk about that too. Ultimately, our goal is to make Eternal its own distinct and fun way to play League of Legends of Runeterra, and we will be watching the format develop closely to make sure we are hitting that goal. I know I'm excited to jump on the ladder and see what happens, so good luck and good game. So it just kind of is kind of weird though. It's like, I'm assuming Standard is supposed to be the more controlled format, but people don't like it because in Standard you can probably figure out or do a meta within like seconds, you know, like it'd be really easy. So let's see what they got. So I'm assuming some of these are going to be different type of changes. So loaded dice for the rest of the round when you damage the nexus, so next round when you damage the enemy nexus, nab 1. This is similar to the some of the other plunder cards. It's like, oh, next turn you draw 2, but so now next round when you damage the nexus, that makes this significantly stronger. Like, the reason why is that, God, is that standard? I'm assuming this card is not in standard, but like, that's so strong because you could spend the 4 mana and then next turn just be like, it's time. It's time, boy. And just start nabbing the ever-loving hell out of them, because now there's so many. You have Flare, you have Stylish Shot, you have a lot of ways to just ping the Nexus, and those cards, it really doesn't matter outside of your own specific hand being full, but just nabbing their deck. I definitely would love to use this and try to deck out my opponent purely through the nab feature, right? And before, it was maybe this also circumvents the whole thing of like unyielding, what is it, you guys know what I'm talking, out of the way, and then out of the way would make it last forever. But if it says next round, I think maybe that just doesn't work. Well, we'll have to see. That's interesting though, but I would love to see someone get decked out via nab, right? Cosmic Inspiration, if you behold a celestial card, grant allies everywhere +2/+2, and instead they just changed it to grant allies everywhere +2/+2. This is fantastic because this card was ass if you got it like as a singular. So now this is an overall buff though, because this has nothing to do with Eternal Standard, but this is just really strong. I love this. And 7 mana, buff your entire deck and graveyard. Awesome. Cosmic Rays, if you behold a celestial card, obliterate 3 or less enemies. Oh, so they're just taking out like the initial thing, which is kind of crazy because sometimes you would get that and that was kind of like the balance of it. But again, they want Eternal to be stronger, so that does make sense. Crimson Aristocrat is going to be deal 1 to an ally granted +2/+0. Instead, now it's going to be new, deal 1 to an ally granted +1 and over. Grant it +1 and overwhelm. Grant. That is strong as shit. That's so good. Because the overwhelm is gonna and if you guys remember, some of you guys may know, what did I do? I made the same self-ping deck, Crimson deck, right? And I utilized it with the cards, and with Udyr stances, right? So you take the self-hurt guys that really ramp up in damage, and then you give them overwhelm through stances. And they end games. They actually end games. You can do the AoE sweep and they'll all gain damage. And to now give another card that gives overwhelm, actually that deck just became demonstrably stronger. And it's really good that this card has a great late game value, because a lot of times these big pump 'em up decks, they don't have overwhelm on top of it. They have ways to make big stats, but they don't have a way to actually end the game. So this is a great card, but if this is rotated, that does suck, because I think that this would do really good in standard as well. But hey, the Scar archetype, as it says, has been somewhat weakened. Yeah, that makes it stronger. Pix is going to come up with a barrier now, which is, I like that for, I don't know, I just thought of Kai'Sa, because you can just kind of have Kai'Sa come out and give a barrier. So his first, basically, what they want, which is kind of weird for a 1-drop, but at least on further turns afterwards, that he comes out and he basically can give that support for free. That's kind of what that is. But I do like that for Kai'Sa as well, because you can have something give a barrier for very cheap, and I also think that really synergizes with the Void Gate as well, if that's going to be a thing. Twin Disciplines give +2 and then +3. So they went back to +3 attack or +3 on defense. So that's a revert. This card was absolutely a menacing piece of shit. So but I feel like, I don't know if Ionia has room for it anymore, right? Because it was a cool card, but I feel like Ionia doesn't really need it. It's cool to see it, and maybe some people will use it for burst lethals and stuff like that. Or obviously the 3 defense hasn't changed, but I don't know if I think it might have been, it might get power crept. It might not be relevant anymore. Eminent Benefactor, this card has been trashed for 8 years. So Last Breath, create a random epic card, and then now you manifest an epic card from your reasons. Okay, that's a little bit better. So as soon as you play it, it gets value, instead of before you played it, it didn't do much, I feel like, and then you had to wait till it died. And for like something you're playing 4-drop, you probably didn't want it to die immediately. You might want to like trade it, but it was actually, you know what, I think giving it immediate value is a lot better. Captive Yeti, reputation, I cost 3 and then I cost 4, but they take away the overwhelm. That's kind of weird. So I cost 4 less, so it can become a 1-drop. So they're taking away, but reputation, it takes a while for that to happen. I think this card's still butt cheeks. The only thing that they can do with this is make it cheaper, right? If you slain 13 units this game, kill all ally followers and summon a copy of me. Is it exact copy? No, it's just a copy of me instead. This one is kill a follower, so it doesn't matter if it's enemy or if you slain 13 plus units this game, kill all enemy followers, then summon me instead. So it actually has an initial effect as well, just straight up kill a follower. So that's awesome. I don't know, that would be a good standard play. A nice little 8 cost, like if you think Vengeance is about, what is Vengeance, like 6 or 7? You have a body, 8/5 body with fearsome, kill something immediately, and then if you killed anything else, you've done enough slaying out there, you get a bonus effect, which, you know, could be pretty cool. I like that change a lot, actually. Draven is Draven, baby, going back to a 3/3/3 because, you know, now he's rotated, so who cares? This one going down to a 4 cost. Wither and Whale back in the place to be. Concurrent timelines, 2 cost back to a 1 cost, because, you know, Eternal is the place where cool builds around this deserve to have their chance. But so it seems as though what I was actually hoping for is that they were going to do more rotations, like they were going to change more stuff up. I know that they have a schedule, and as a responsible content creator of this game, I should follow that, but I just don't care to. So I like to be surprised like you guys. Poppy going back to 3/3. I know Poppy got rotated. The Stroke Henchman. I actually made a deck of him, because guess what? Summon an exact copy of me when he Nexus strikes. That does include if he has Overwhelm, which there's many ways to give this character Overwhelm, or just make him elusive. And then boom, you make an exact copy of him. and then he can keep making copies of him if you keep breaking pressure. It's just really cool. So giving him 5/5 makes him just have a little bit more defense. He stays alive longer. Why is Fried 3/8 vulnerable? Why was that even a thing? Basically, he did damage, and then like he has overwhelm, but then like they can also put. It was just a stupid, dumb fucking decision. Anyway, so deal 1 to all other allies and grant me +1 for each of them. And then depending on what you had out there, it was really cool. But the fact that he was vulnerable, like what he would trade, and then you would just get a freer trade the next turn for a 6 cost was just god awfully terrible. Now we have this one, but they got the new thing coming in. What are you doing with this one? When an ally is summoned, give it +1 and challenger. 2, when an ally is summoned, give it +1/+1 and challenger this round. That's the old chain, so they reverted it back. That's a reversion. Because some of those units were strong as hell, right? I guess that's good. I don't know. I feel like Grand Plaza at this moment is a little too slow with what you can do now. And that's a lot of these Eternal cards. A lot of them, because Standard has to be stronger and more exciting, a lot of these cards are pretty much, I wouldn't say useless, but they're like, I could just run this card instead. So yeah, Captain Eureka, 8 cost, 6/6, going down to a 6 cost 4/4 with the same effect. I actually think that's decently good, especially because it's still an elite. So it could actually be a 6 cost 5/5 if that other blacksmith is on the field, and become a 6 cost 5/5, or if it gets buffed in any way, spell shield, captures an enemy or a landmark, depending on how popular landmarks come. Pretty good. On guard, really like this card, going back down to a 2 cost. I like, and there's no explanation for it, but on guard is actually really, really good. Because if you can swarm the field and then you give everything challenger and then everyone just goes crazy. Also makes me wonder in a Void Gate deck to just do that, to put a ton of challenger in your deck would be interesting if you have a wide board. Let's see, this card has always had a cool dream but was never really gotten to live it. A cheaper cost should make that. I don't know if I feel like I don't know whether or not these cards are rotated or not. I'm just judging them as cards in general. But yes, making it cheaper makes it easier to use, especially for a overall game. A buff that lasts the entirety of the game is crazy, especially when we just saw that nab thing. So you could play this on turn, what is the early? Turn 3 is the earliest I think you could play it. Which is most 5 span cost stuff, and then you could play the nab thing, and then maybe you could just go crazy with like pinging stuff in the deck and just run a bunch of ping cards. Because I don't know why nab that loaded dice works like that, but that would be crazy. Your deck is just full of Nexus strike stuff or stuff that hits the Nexus, so you could just keep nabbing from your opponent and just deck them out. Insane. And then we have Iceborne Legacy. Did you hear it? The sound of the fluffed. And that's, so yeah, grant an ally and all copies of it everywhere, +2/+2 going down. It was 6 cost, now it's 5. Still focus speed though, so you can't use it like a jerk. Escape Abomination going back to 4 attack. That's cool. No one cares though. Blessing of Targon going down to 4. That's kind of relevant because it's in the Tellstones. So not that bad. Kinko Lifeblade, 3 defense. Congratulations. Card nerfs. So these are a little bit more important, I'd have to say, right? So Simera. So what are they doing? When I'm summoned or strike, create a 0. So this is specifically a nerf to the level 2. Create a 0 cost flare in the hand when you place this card rally. They're changing that to when I am summoned or strike, create a 0 cost flare in the hand when you place 6 cards rally. Resets when you start a round with the attack token. So they basically are changing the... She's going back to having, which is what I thought it was too. I actually didn't know until I did a Samara video, and then someone was like, I was like, wait, why did she rally here? And it's like, oh, because it doesn't reset at the end of the round anymore. So that is, at least it now resets when when you get the natural turn, right? You can still do crazy combos and rally multiple times in a turn, but when it actually comes back to your turn, it will reset, and I think that that's fair. That's a pretty safe, nice nerf to her. But then I see Flare here, and it kind of makes me scared. So, old one was deal 1 to the enemy Nexus, or give an allied challenger this round to deal 1 to the enemy Nexus, or give a allied Samara. That nerfs the card to the ground. Woo! I mean, giving challenger was really cool. Really cool. And I was also thinking about it with the new Targon card, right? You could tap that card and then like make it challenger, trade into something, and then get all your spells back, right? But now it's only to Samara. well, she generates the card, so you'll never see Flare without her on the field to begin with. But it still has the poke if you want to do Plunder, but they wanted to make sure that it's only Samara that has Flare, because all the other characters on the field that you was using it on don't have it. It allows you a lot more control. I actually think that's a pretty fair nerf, I would say. Pretty fair nerf that I think that people shouldn't be able to argue with. Tristana going up to 5 from 4, making her a little bit more delayed. I don't need to read that. That's pretty much all that is. This one, the Banner Gunners had Spell Shield. That they just removed the Spell Shield. Kill me, Daddy. All right, next up, Powder Pandemonium. Now, this one, it looks like grants vulnerable for each plunder. They just make it that it doesn't do plunder. Sorry, it doesn't do vulnerable, right? So I've seen people lose to this. I think I have a video of me losing to it as well. They summon like 5 or 6 of these stupid monkeys, and then they pull and do things the way that they basically want to, which was so strong. And I get it, it was supposed to be a payout for activating Plunder a ton of times, but when they made it so easy to do that, it's just like, I honestly wish that they made it like for every 2 plunders or something like that, just to lower it, or maybe even higher the cost of it, because it's just so strong. It's like crazy strong, dude. So I'll be interested to see if that was enough of a nerf for people who just don't play it. But it's still a strong card, because once you trigger it at least 5 to 6 times, you summon an entire board, and then that's like 5 damage, like, you know, 5 damage unless you have something else on the field, 6 damage, plus maybe if all the vulnerables and then you pulled, you can even eke out even more damage. So I think that's a cool thing, and see how that works out going forward. Card adjustments. Don't think that anyone's used Mimic at all, unless I'm mistaken. The reason it was stopping us from allowing Reputation to cost reduce, as it could easily go infinite. I remember that going infinite. The new design is hopefully more satisfying to play with and without the same problem. So 3 costs. It used to be 3 costs. Reputation, I cost 1. Pick a spell in hand or in play and create a fleeting copy of it in hand, so you can then play it again. Now it is a 5 cost spell, which is you made it cost 2 and then go back to 3. When you play your next spell this round, copy it with the same targets. So they made it, that is interesting. So they made it cost more, gave it a way better effect, right? So when you play your next spell this round, copy it with the same targets. The issue I have with that is obviously because you're using that spell, it costs, in the grand scheme of it costs 3, right? You did your reputation, you did your due diligence, it costs 3. And then you have to play something else after that, a spell no less, and then you have to somehow like still be able to do that. Now with coins, that's obviously really good, right? Because it says copy it in with the same targets. It should make a copy of it, and then, you know, you got the double thing, so you can, you know, Noxus Ionia Rule or Noxus Bilgewater, you know, which is already a pretty strong popular deck, right? So, but there are some other things, you know, that you could do with that. So I do like the changes, some mini karma. And since this is still, no, actually it's not, I'm about to say it's a LeBlanc spell, but it's not. Mimic is not her spell, her champion spell, but still pretty good. Momentous choice coming in the building. I'm just gonna skip down to here. New, I cost 1 less. So it could be 2, cost 1 less if you equip, give an ally +2. So they took out the copy aspect of it, because that was obviously really good for Samara. It allowed you to really pump up Varus, right? To have him get him thing. Varus is not too popular, but still he was at one point. So it costs 1 and it does only 1 buff, and it's not gonna duplicate, which, you know, there's a lot of trouble with that. So that seems to be the only changes. The competitive Runeterra opens, these are when those are coming out. I'm not reading that because, like I said, I've barely been able to participate in those. The daily rumbles, all that stuff. Unlimited gauntlet month, prize bundle. Oh, this is the I feel like, yeah, I'm about to say they were free last time. I don't remember buying them, but I have some of these. They just gave them out. Convergence emote, which is, like I said, I want to play more into that. Want to finish the Mage Seeker first, because I'm tired of leaving games open-ended. So we'll do the Mage Seeker first, and then I will dive into Convergence as quick as I can. Let's see, updated skin. Check back tomorrow that we will be updating an older version of a skin, and we'll update this section tomorrow when the patch is live. So they're updating a skin, which sucks because you don't know what skin it is, and then if you have it, then it gets upgraded. It has a cool animation and stuff like that. But yeah, Breathe the free air added free build to the friend challenge game modes. Build with a minimum of 10, maximum of 100 cards, up to 20 champions and any regions. Added champs unlimited to the friend challenge. So just more stuff you can do with your friends. Free deck build, free deck bundles, okay, bug fixes, and that is it. Overall, I guess that's okay. Didn't see a crazy hit. I think that a lot of people were definitely upset with coins. I'm kind of surprised there's nothing about coins here. Samara, I feel like the Samara Fizz was strong. I think it's also like, you know, they give you like a trial version of it when you play AI. But I'm surprised there's nothing to do with coins. I think the coin archetype was a very strong, very oppressive, and Karma's like way of working with it was just annoying. But they did say that this is mostly focused on Eternal. But I know people are gonna be like, well, when is you guys gonna touch rotation? Because it's a shit show, because people hate when meta gets established. So I'm interested. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a decent amount of people pissed because there's no coin nerfs here. There's no set nerfs. There's no, like, set can actually generate multiple showstoppers in a turn if he gets recalled and replayed. The coin thing is just obnoxious. I think what is it? Who was it? Grappler. Grappler had a really good solution to the coin, is that it just resets. The first one, it can have it be stacked as much as it wants, but when it copies it, it doesn't copy the value of the first one. It just copies a 1. Similar to like how Go Hard works. Like Go Hard, when you play the sweep one, the 5-cost version, you don't play 2 5-cost versions, right? They transform. So I think that there should be, I don't know, the name of the coin. Like, let's just call it coin when it's 1 coin, and then as soon as it becomes 2 coins, it's called a stack of coins. And then whenever you play a stack of coins, it goes back to a coin. So it's very easy to change that, and it's already in their own like design, whatever, in their coding. That's what I should say. It's already in their coding, so they can 100% do it, and it will just make it so that you don't have a 4 coin and it basically makes 8, or you know, the 5 goes to 10. It's like it's just ridiculous with multiplications. But now, guess what? Now they're making it that at least in Eternal you can now do it very slowly, or on a different turn you can now do it with the Mimic, right? With the Mimic change. I was like, where the hell is it? Now you can do it with Mimic, right? If you have a reputation deck, or you can play 5, right? And the next thing you play is the coin, and then you do some crazy additive stuff, and maybe there's a cool stack up combo, you know? So looking forward to the changes. I definitely want to run like the thing with the overwhelm. That seems pretty good. A lot of the other changes to me seem butt cheeks, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, pretty butt cheeks. I don't think Eternal gives a flying fuck about most of these things. I'm just keeping it real. Eternal has so many cool things, like I said, like Coin Trundle, right? Like there's a lot of cool decks that exist in Eternal. Samira Victor is pretty cool. You know, Glorious Evolution with a ton of stuff. A lot of stuff that people haven't really explored. TF is gonna go butt shit crazy, right? A lot of stuff people haven't explored because they basically abandoned Eternal because of ranked or standard, whatever. So I don't think any of these are gonna be relevant in the new Eternal grind. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, we're gonna crank out Mage Seeker right into Convergence, and I'm also gonna try to upload some League of Legends videos here and there. Not a lot, but just some every once in a while. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace.